Hello guys and welcome back. In this video we're going to try to store the player's picked character definition into the player state. So let's go ahead and make a variable to store that U property, and then this is going to be just U property T subclass of not T subclass of we just store the whole thing class U character definition. And then this one will be the picked character. Okay. Alrighty. Now, this picked character, of course, will be something that we need to be able to replicate through the internet. So I'm going to do replicate using equals to unwrap character selection, or picked character. Let's use uppercase because that's Unreal Engine's naming convention for the most part. Unwrap picked character, and we need to make that function, of course. U function void unwrap picked character, and then we need to also make sure that we do have the replicate set to be true for our class. AEOS fun player state. This should be already true, but let's just do it ourselves. B replicates equals to true, and then net update frequency equals to 100. This is going to be making it the same as the player. Defaults to 1, which is too slow. Okay. Alrighty, which is just increase its importance there. Alright. And then we also need to include net Unreal network. Oh, Unreal network so that we can implement the other function that we need. Let's keep on going down to the parents until we find U object and search get left time replicated props. We need to copy that function, control minus a few times to go back here, right? We can just implement that function here, protect it. Alrighty. And we of course need to override that. And don't forget to call super get left time replicated props. We pass in out left time props. Ooh, where is it? Left time props. And then we just do a do left time, do rep left time condition notify, because we're notifying it. And then class name is AU as fun player state, and then the variable will be picked character, and then condition none, which means there is no condition checking. It's always going to be replicated. Replicate rep notify always. Yeah, that'll be it. And then we also wanted this to be able to be broadcasting, so I'm going to do one thing. You this is declare dynamic multicast delegates one parameter. I'm gonna call this guy F picked character replicated, and then we'll have the same the U character definition. Yeah, U character definition. We can have a const. I believe we can have a const. If not, we need to fall back. Const guy new pick. Alrighty. And we just have a member of that, and then we need to broadcast in the replicated function. Pick character replicated dot broadcast. And we're broadcasting out our picked character, right? There should be some setup for the replicated functionality and delegates to be able to broadcast. So yes, let me try to do a compilation, make sure that this one works. Unreal Visual Studio is annoying with that. If you're using Writer, then yours is not having this squiggly line down there, because there is possibly no problem, but no matter what you do here, Visual Studio would give you a give you a weird error. Oh, you know what? This might be problematic because we don't have that declared class character definition. No, I think about it. I'm wrong about that. Let me cancel the build and build again. Alright, the build is completed. Looks like we do have no problem. Okay, so I'd like to close it. Some of the things I can do to make it work is just to refresh the Visual Studio project. Yes, oftentimes I don't really care. I just keep on coding. But if it's really there and being annoying, it's better to just refresh it. Some people hated it, especially new people who jumped into Unreal Engine. That is kind of like a no-go, right? It's really confusing for beginners, and that's why Unreal Engine is pushing away a lot of people, because of the complexity there, and it's just never gonna go any simpler, right? It's getting more and more complex with every new iteration there, so you have to spend a lot of time and sweat to get used to it. Alrighty, so yes, we have the player state now. Let's see, where is it? Yeah. Another thing I want to do, of course, is to make sure that we have a way to ask the server to update it, because there could be multiple people picking on a character definition. What if they pick it in a very close time, and the server has to be able to handle which one picks the first, right? So let's create a server function, EU function, and this one will be server reliable, and then with validation. And then I often name that function server. Issue character pick. Okay, and then we pass in the unpick character. We pass in a class character definition, and character definition, or picked character definition, or new picked character. So this one will be the one we ask the server to do. The server will handle it and then figure out the result, replicate back to the clients. Let's alt enter and create the definition there. And unfortunately, this wouldn't be the one. This has to have a underscore implementation. And then we also have to have another one that's returning a boolean, because we did the with validation. So this is going to be validated. At the moment, we can always return true, unless you want to check something specific that the player could be cheating, because if you return false here, the client will be disconnected. Okay, alrighty. So again, this is having a little bit of trouble. So how about me refresh it again? Alright, I just refreshed the Visual Studio project by building it first and then refresh through the editor there, right, just like before. Okay, so let's take a look at that. We have those two functions available now, and what we need to do is making sure that we're checking if we have some character being selected already. So if new picked character definition equals to picked character, that means yeah, we're okay, right? We're not doing anything here if they're the same already. And then we need to check, is this one already being selected by other players? Now how do we even know that? One of the things we can do is ask the game state. Let's include that. This is on the server now, right? This is on server, so we don't have to worry about anything. Include EOS fun game state, because this one can store all the important data. So let's go there, and then we just have, we do have a theory here already. Let's just make another one. This one will be selected characters. Okay, just make our life easier, right? We could also use like an array of indices to define that, like which one is selected, but it's also index number is the same as a pointer size-wise. It's not that much difference. Okay, so selected characters, we can have a function to check who is character selected. And we pass in the constant u character definition character to check, and we just need to simply return that if our selected characters contains that character to check. Okay, alrighty, so we just need to go back here to the player state and then check. First thing we need to do now is to get the actual game state. AEOS game state equals to get game. We don't have a function for that. No problem. We just need to include the Kismet gameplay statics gameplay statics get game state, and we pass in this. I want to cast it AEOS fun game state. Okay, so get the game state. If we have the game state, let's check the bad condition. If not game state, or character is already selected, game state is character selected, and then new picked character definition. That means it's either we don't have a game state or we have a character that's already selected. We're trying to select. Maybe someone select just a few milliseconds earlier than us. This will be true, right? So then in those either of those two conditions, we'll have to return. Right? If we pass all those checks, we know that we're able to select it. So we're just gonna say, hey, picked character. Oh, before we do that, let's ask the game state. I want to make a function update player character selection, or update character selection, I guess. All right. And then we just pass in. We need to pass in two things. One is the new picked characters, and then our picked character. Because we need to pass in both who is currently being picked and who is the one that we're deselecting, right? So that way we have to pass in two things so that everyone can update on their end. Alrighty, and then we assign our picked character to be the new picked character definition. Alright, here we want to be careful about the update. We actually need to do the delegate in here as well, because the server doesn't get this one called when we update it. So we just ask the server to do it here right away. If someone is to subscribe to this, this should happen on both the server and client. Alrighty, and then let's take care of that function. Update character selection. We don't have that function. Let's go to the game state and then make one. Let me just rename that. And then yes, we can do this. U character definition, which reminds me this can be constant. Okay, let's actually forward declare this guy because it's getting forward declare too much. Alrighty. U character definition again, and this one is going to be the selected, and this one is deselected. Alrighty, and let's go there and implement that. Okay, and we're just going to say selected characters, or if selected not equals to null pointer, right? We just say that the selected characters will be adding that. Add selected characters dot add append. Add should be add. This is a TRA, right? TRA? No problem. Why can't we add? I'm a little confused here. Has the contents get? Interesting, we cannot add. Was that because I'm making it constant? That's a little weird. We don't need to do those for declaration anymore. Okay, that's weird. Am I doing a TRA? I'm doing a TRA, right? Characters, okay. Something is seriously wrong there. Let me just do add, see what happens. Selected. It doesn't have a function there. Oh, because it doesn't know what that is. We need to actually include the character definition. So constant. Oh, because this is constant. Oh, because this one is constant. Okay, that makes total sense now. Because we're making that one constant. That shouldn't be constant. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And then yeah, this can be constant, I think. Now we can add. And then if the deselected these, oh, we don't have to do anything to the this. Oh, actually we have to. We need to check then. Deselected selected characters dot remove deselected. So we're adding the newly selected, we're removing the deselected, so that our container that records selected characters will be accurate. Okay. And then one more thing we can do is to make sure that we are able to make everyone know, right? So we're going to do another function. Because we need everyone to know, this thing has to be a net multicast. Can do a private u function net multicast cast reliable, and then void, and say this one's going to be net multicast update character selection. Okay, and then we also have these two, I believe. And we do the implementation. Alrighty, and then we just need to broadcast out with these two. Okay, so let's create another declared, and that's going to be 2 frames. And then this one will take consts u character definition selected and then another one that's deselected. So that one everyone, so this way everyone can know. I'm gonna call this guy on character selection replicated. Okay. Alrighty, and we have that in here. Okay, that's a lot of coding already. Let's try to compile it. If this works, we're gonna continue in the next video and make sure that we are not having too long of a video. It's already getting long, but there's so many things to cover before even we see something. So it's kind of like a little bit difficult to take too much breaks. But yes, this is going to be the place that we have the mechanic, the backend mechanic working right in the front, and we just need to ask the lobby widget to issue that by finding the player state and do it. Okay. All right, seems like our compilation is fine. Let's stop the video now. In the next one, we're gonna try to make the front end work so that we do see the selection change. Alrighty, see you guys next time.